Russia just detonated the economic equivalent of a nuclear bomb. No, we are not being over dramatic. Putin has directed the Russian central bank to start buying gold and has pegged its currency to gold. 5,000 rubles equals 1 gram of gold. Pegged? What? Read on. What the heck is happening? Let's go a little back in time and understand how this whole currency gold thing works. Welcome back to Revolution Read On, a daily podcast where we break down one story from the world of business and finance. Click on the subscribe button to never miss an update from us. Here's your story for today. Money enables trust. A rupee in any state of India is a rupee. No questions asked. In the 1900s, when the world was low on trust, gold was the one thing that everybody trusted humans to assign value to. Gold was the default currency. But transacting in physical gold was very difficult and dangerous. So countries found a way around. They made their currency a derivative of gold. And so began the era of the gold standard. The amount of gold you had determined the value of your currency. For example, assume the US has a total of 100 US dollars printed, backed by 50 tons of gold. Similarly, the UK has 1,000 pounds printed, backed by 50 tons of gold. Hence, 100 US dollars equals 1,000 pounds, or 1 US dollar equals 10 pounds. That's how exchange rates were determined. By the 1960s, the US owned 75% of the world's gold, and its economy was growing super fast. It did not have enough gold in its reserves to print more dollars. Without gold in your reserves, you couldn't print money. It was against the agreement signed by top 10 nations of the world. The US became the world's gold mafia. As an economy grows, the number of transactions grow and the country needs more money in circulation. As gold couldn't be mined fast enough, it takes approximately 10 years, the US called for all nations to de-link currency and gold and mutually decide a standard. It wasn't in the US's favor anymore to link gold and other currencies. What were the other currencies linked to then? Obviously, the US dollars. Today, the scenario is such that gold is denominated in terms of US dollars, not the other way around. Also, the US had convinced Saudi Arabia to price oil in US dollars, which marked the beginning of the rise of USD as the go to currency for global trade. Since you needed US dollars now to buy oil, something which every country needs and only a very few have, most countries held US foreign exchange reserves. And since they had faith in the dollar, how could they not? When every currency was linked to it, they kept buying US government debt in the form of bonds. Right now, approximately 30% of the US debt is held by foreign governments and more so by foreign individuals. But Russia's move has the potential to change this whole game. How? Like we said earlier, Russia's central bank is buying gold from other Russian banks at 5,000 rubles per gram of gold. Why? Because of the US sanctions that have frozen Russia's dollar cash reserves in foreign banks and cut Russia off from the world economy. It cannot use dollars now to trade with the rest of the world. So it has found a new way. And Russian banks are happy to give the central bank this gold as they cannot sell their 140 billion US dollar gold reserve for love or money, again because of the US sanctions. But this whole system has the potential to mess with the entire foreign exchange and commodities market. You see, Russia has set its own rate to buy gold. This rate pays no heed to the exchange rate that is prevalent around the world. Right now, according to traditional dollar based exchange rates, you need 82 rubles to buy 1 US dollar. Also, the price of gold in USD is 67 US dollars per gram. To buy 1 gram of gold, Russia would earlier need 82 rubles into 67 US dollars, which equals 5,494 rubles per gram of gold. But now it has fixed the rate at 5,000 rubles per gram of gold. So, by pegging its currency to gold, Russia has made the effective ruble USD exchange rate as 5,000 rubles or 1 gram of gold equals 67 US dollars or 1 gram of gold, or 74 Russian rubles equals 1 US dollar. What this essentially means is that the countries buying stuff from Russia will have to shell out only 74 Russian rubles in exchange of 1 US dollar instead of 82 rubles. And this is just the beginning. Russia has announced that it considers dollars to be quote unquote candy wrappers. So, if a country wants to import stuff from Russia, it will have to pay in gold rubles or maybe even Bitcoin. Russia is considering this option, which means oil, at least Russian oil, will now be priced either in rubles or gold, which backs rubles. If European countries choose to import oil, natural gas, palladium, which is the metal used to make semiconductor chips, wheat, or anything from Russia, they'll have to probably pay in gold. This will increase Russia's gold reserves, increasing the power of its gold backed currency further, and keep on making it stronger against the dollar. This, in turn, could shake the faith of the world in the dollar. To be fair, the US is kind of responsible for already having shaken this faith. By imposing sanctions on countries like Afghanistan and Russia, it has made countries wary of having US foreign exchange reserves, as they could be frozen anytime the US is displeased with them. Russia's move could further deepen this dislike, causing countries to dump the US bonds they hold because of the declining value of the US dollar. The US cannot function without debt. So, it may have to raise interest rates to find buyers for its debt. This increase in interest rates will slow down the US's growth, as the flow of money in the economy will reduce. Plus, thanks to countries dumping US dollar bonds, the price of the dollar will also decline because of an excess supply of dollars in the market. This could lead to hyperinflation in the US. We know, long shot, but it's possible. Also, Russia's move could convince the world to delink their currencies from the dollar. What would happen in such a scenario if USD would no longer be the default currency of the world? Stay tuned to find out. And that's your story for today. Thanks for listening in. Make sure to follow this podcast if you aren't already. We'll be back on Monday.